I don't want to break this conversation up, but if you can find your seats, we'll get started this morning. Good morning to everybody.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Ready? Good morning to all. The meeting of the Board of Regents of the Texas Tech University System is now called to order. We'll begin this morning with introductions and recognitions. Chancellor Mitchell, President Hawkins, President Haney, President Skuvenek, President Lang, and President Rice Spearman, will you please present your introductions and recognitions this morning?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I only have one recognition today, and this is actually second time that I have recognized someone that you might call a Texas Tech University System icon, Martha Brown. Where are you, Martha?
She knew she was on the docket, and
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Well, all of you know Martha is Vice Chancellor for State Relations in the Office of Government Relations at the system. In May, she was recognized as a distinguished alumna of the School of Law for everything she's accomplished in her incredible career, including more than 4 decades with the TTU system. Well, in October, she added another accolade to her list when she was named a Distinguished Service Award winner by the Texas Tech Alumni Association. Martha was recognized for her dedication to the system as well as her commitment to ensuring enduring success for the system, the university, and all Red Raiders. So I want to, in absentia, I want to give Martha a round of applause for everything she's done for us as well as higher education. And that's all of my recognitions, Mr. Chairman.
President Hawkins, good morning. Oh, boy. Okay. Wow. I'm missing something here, but I'm sure I'll catch on here in a little bit. President Haney.
Yes, we have
Sunglasses and microphone.
Thank you, yes. So we have 2 individuals retiring from the faculty who have collectively served Midwestern State University for 95 years. They have both been recommended for emeritus status, and we wanted to recognize their outstanding service. Dr. Betty Bowles retired from MSU this last May as professor of nursing following 47 years of service. During her career, she remained active in the nursing field while enhancing her teaching through research and service. She played key roles in education at the United Regional Healthcare System, including Director of Maternal Child Health and Director of Education. Her scholarly work explored topics that ensured the health of mothers and children, including low-tech teaching strategies for childbirth education in rural Haiti, where she worked in the aftermath of the earthquake in 2011 and 2012 and during the cholera epidemic. Dr. Bowles is a fellow of the American Academy of Childbirth Educators. Dr. George Dekoff will retire from MSU at the end of the spring semester as professor of psychology following 48 years of service. Dr. Dekoff led the MSU psychology department for 30 years, serving as the program coordinator, department chair, and graduate program coordinator. He exemplifies scholarly research productivity, publishing more than 80 peer-reviewed articles, book chapters, technical reports, and textbooks, and presenting more than 50 papers at professional conferences, and chairing numerous student theses in the graduate program. His research emphasized work in cognitive maps, statistical applications in the social sciences, and studies of social control in college students. Thank you for joining me in recognizing Dr. Dekoff. And Chancellor, that concludes my introductions.
President Skuvenek.
Mr. Chairman, I have 2 introductions this morning, and the first is Mr. Jerry Glasgow. Would you stand up, Coach? Coach Glasgow became the head softball coach at Texas Tech this past summer. And since then, he has almost completely revamped the Texas Tech roster. It was headlined by bringing to Lubbock arguably the top transfer portal target in the country, Naj Kennedy, a pitcher from Stanford University. Coach Glasgow is a proven winner. He's compiled a 300-win, 88-loss record in 7 seasons at the University of Louisiana, with 5 Sun Belt Conference titles and 6 berths in the NCAA tournament, including a super regional appearance in 2023. Before that, he helped guide Georgia to a pair of Final Four finishes at the Women's College World Series and helped turn A&M into a national contender. As a collegiate coach, he has been part of 12 NCAA tournament appearances, 6 NCAA Super Regionals, and 3 Women's College World Series. He has coached 15 All-Americans, 29 All-SEC honorees, 37 All-Sun Belt performers, and 49 All-Region selections. I think Coach Glasgow wanted to sneak up on people, but the word is already out. And though he probably doesn't like to publicize these things, Texas Tech has already been voted number 7 in the nation in the only preseason poll. So, Coach, we're delighted to have you here.
No pressure, Coach, but good luck. Okay.
Yes, you only have 6 places to move up. My next introduction is Dr. Lin Zhao. Dr. Zhao began his tenure as Vice President for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer at Texas Tech this last September. He comes to Texas Tech after having served as a Senior Vice President and CIO at the New School in New York City, where he was responsible for driving their strategy for IT, including creating the institution's quantum initiative and founding the school's Innovation Center. Prior to that, he had a 20-year career with IBM, where he led IBM Watson Education from a startup to a global leader in AI education. Dr. Zhao, we're delighted to have you here. And also at this time, I want to say thanks to Keith Hallman, who served as the interim CIO for Texas Tech during the search period. Keith, thank you for stepping in and doing the wonderful job you did for us and you continue to do for the system.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that between you and Lynn, this will be great for Texas Tech and the Texas Tech system. Thank you both.
Let me assure you, gentlemen, that your service is going to add a few years to President Skuvanek's life, too. Thank you. President Lang.
I have no introductions at this time.
Okay.
This was done in solidarity with our colleague, Lori Rice Spearman.
Yeah, I got you.
I have great team members. Thank
President Rice Spearman, with your bright future right ahead of you.
you. So if Dean Sechrist would stand. Dr. Dondra Sechrist has served as the 6th Dean of the School of Health Professions since 2020 and is a tenured university distinguished faculty professor. Her passion lies in fostering interprofessional education and practice through collaboration with colleagues across professions. In addition to her extensive institutional contributions, she actively participates in numerous state and national committees, leading those committees, and furthering the advancement of health professions education. She is a Red Raider, true and true. She has 2 bachelor's degrees, one from the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center and one from Texas Tech University, a Master of Arts in Occupational Therapy from Texas Women's University, and her doctorate also comes from Texas Tech University. Why I wanted to bring Dondra in today is under her leadership, the school has literally thrived. We now have she has to work with 8 different accrediting bodies, which is very unusual for a university dean. All of those accrediting bodies, she has maximum accreditation with no issues with compliance. Overall, on the 20-plus programs that are involved with licensure and certification, their overall pass rate is 91%, with some of the pass rates of those programs 100% year after year after year. So the academic excellence in this school is outstanding. This last 2 years, they have been ranked numerous times in many categories in the U.S. News and World Report, and some of the rankings include the first ever ranking of a clinical laboratory science program, ranked number 1 in the nation. Additional rankings, a few that I'm going to share here with you, and I know I won't get them all right, ranked number 1 for Best Doctorate in Rehabilitation Sciences. Addiction Counseling Program ranked number 1 and 2 respectively. And then the Post-Professional Doctorate of Occupational Therapy is ranked number 6. So her ability to build teams that focus on excellence in academics is outstanding. She's an athlete, and she came up through this system. She loves women and men's basketball and men's Texas Tech football, and her husband travel all over the nation to support our Texas Tech athletics. But she doesn't only thrive in that. The School of Health Professions this last couple of years has had record-breaking submissions with grants and receiving grants at the national level. So she's building infrastructure around research, which is exactly what we want our leaders to do. And then finally, the clinical practice for the School of Health Professions has grown significantly. The most recent addition was a women's physical therapy health clinic that opened in Amarillo, Texas. And so I wanted to recognize Dondra, her leadership. This is what we strive for in our leadership, and she exemplifies all of that. So Dondra, thank you for all you do for our university as well as the School of Health Professions. Our next slide is really another slide where we talked about the Cooper Clinic yesterday, and we briefly mentioned a key leader of that clinic, and that's Dr. Laura Defina. We have not only brought in the Cooper Clinic, but we have brought in this gem of a scientist who's going to move the needle for the future of the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center. And I wanted to share with you who she is and what she does and what she's going to bring to our university. Dr. Defina served as president and chief executive officer of the Cooper Institute since 2014. She joined the Institute's research division in 2009 as medical director and was appointed as chief science officer in 2013. In that position, she led the development and implementation of the Institute's research agenda, which is focused primarily on the Cooper Center longitudinal study and developing strategic partnerships with academic centers, researchers, and industry stakeholders. Now then, let me tell you a little bit about her. She has authored over 100 manuscripts on various prevention topics, including healthy aging, brain health, and cardiorespiratory therapist. She is a fellow of the American College of Physicians and the American Heart Association. She is serving a second term on the Texas Council on Alzheimer's Disease and Related Disorders, a role appointed by the governor. She has received several national awards, including the 2012 Stephen N. Blair Award for Excellence in Physical Activity Research from the American Heart Association's Nutrition, Physical Activity, and Metabolism Council for her research on fitness and dementia. Additionally, she has served in numerous organizations, including the Data Safety Monitoring Board, Translational Advisory Board of 2 NIH-funded multi-center studies. She has also served on the North Texas Commission Board of Directors, the American Council on Exercise Prescription for Activity Task Force, and the American Heart Association Councils on Lifestyle and Cardiometabolic Health. The accolades go on and on. She attended Northwestern University. She completed her medical school at George Washington University School of Medicine, where she was elected to Alpha Omega Alpha, which is the highest honor within medical school. She received her medical training in internal medicine at Walter Reed Army Medical Center and served 12 years in the United States Army, rising to the rank of major. Before joining the Cooper Institute, Dr. Defina practiced internal medicine at Dwight David Eisenhower Medical Center, geriatric medicine at the Baylor Senior Health Network, and ultimately found her passion in preventive health care at the world-renowned Cooper Clinic. We are honored and thrilled to have Dr. Defina join our team.
And she's an excellent baker, too.
Well, and word on the street is there's no better pickleball player. So just telling you, they even have their own Cooper Clinic pickleball paddles. Okay, and last but certainly not least, it is a true honor for our system as well as our university to bring forward Speaker Tom Craddock. Speaker Craddock has been a tremendous healthcare advocate and supporter in Midland, Texas, and also the secret behind the power over there is Nadine, and we are thrilled to have Nadine here as well. Within the Texas legislature, Speaker Craddock has been a passionate advocate of Midland and the surrounding area for more than 50 years, frequently securing funding and support for critically needed resources and services. We are grateful for all the work representing District 81 in the Texas House of Representatives and ensuring the hometown of Midland and this region has access to quality health care. Our HSC and our system have benefited tremendously from Speaker Craddock's efforts as an elected official. In addition to the physician assistant program, his support has helped establish the behavioral health center that serves the Permian Basin and will change the future of mental health in that community. He has also secured legislative support for surgery and subspecialty residency programs in the Permian Basin, which has allowed us to raise the level of trauma and critical care in that community. Speaker Craddock was instrumental in establishing our physician assistant program and securing $38 million in state appropriations to support 2 expansions, including a forensic medical lab, the only program nationwide with such a facility. Today, our PA program is one of the most competitive programs in the country for admittance and has a wide selection of applicants. It's my honor to introduce Speaker Craddock and Nadine.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Chancellor.
Speaker Craddock is also the Dean of the House, the longest-serving member of the House, and he's actually, tell me if I get this correct, Craddock, he's the longest-serving state elected official in the United States right now. Is that correct? Not the oldest. Not the oldest. The longest-serving.
Speaker-
Mr. Chairman, can I
Would
add
you
a
like to
few?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Lori.
Speaker Craddock, would you like to say a few words? There's a podium with a microphone if y'all would like to go to the podium.
While they're walking over, if I may add just a few comments. I've lived in Midland for 43 years, have known the Craddocks for a big part of that time. When we recognized the Craddocks at the PA recognition naming last month, I mentioned that they're not just icons, they're an institution. The Craddock name, the Craddock family is an institution, not just for West Texas, not just for the Permian Basin, not just for Midland, Odessa, but for Texas Tech as well. They've done more for our region, our university, than anybody that I know of in the history of this institution. So we're so thankful that you're part of our team. You look great in red. I'm not going to try to guess how old Tom might be, but he did tell me this morning that he hired Dr. Bill Dean on the Ex-Students Association. And Dr. Dean, I don't know how old you are, but that's been a few years ago. So thank you both. Thank you, Craddocks, for all you've done and continue to do for our university.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having us, and we appreciate y'all naming the facility for us. It's kind of been my thing, and we've been glad to work on it. It's been great. The deal of doing the lab was kind of my idea because you had to put people in a bus or whatever and bus students to Lubbock, and then they come back and forth, and we did the lab. I didn't know at that time I was going to be the only one in the country that had it. We'll figure out what else we can do over there, so number one. But Nadine and I both went to Tech, and we've loved Tech and had fun through the years, and our son graduated from here. Our daughter, she went to Brand X, Texas, and so, but she still likes Tech and watches all the things up here. I was president of the National Ex-Students Association, and we hired Bill, and actually I was telling Tim, I walked into my first ex-students meeting, my first one after I graduated and we'd gotten married. We came up for homecoming. I walked in and a group said, "There's just who we're looking for." And I said, "Who?" They said, "You're going to be the new president of the Ex-Students Association." I said, "This is the first meeting I've ever been to." They said, "Well, we're going to change leadership, and you'll do a great job in cleaning it all up." And so I thought they were kidding. At noon, I became the president of the Ex-Student Association. I'll tell you what I think was the best thing we did at that period. The administration and the ex-students were at odds, and we had a vacant house, which is now the ex-students' home over on the campus. I negotiated the deal for the university to turn that over to the ex-students. And I think that was a big deal to make everybody happy. And so it's been, thank you for doing this, and it's been great privilege for us to have gone to Tech and been here, and for sure to do this. And in my first term of the legislature, I also co-signed the deal that created Texas Tech's medical school. So we're glad to be here. Thanks. You want to say something? Nadine is the one that does all. She thinks up the projects.
I just want to thank all of you. It's truly humbling to be honored by your university as well as your community. So thank you all for this amazing honor. We just do it because we love what we do. We love Texas, and we think everything should be excellent, and obviously that is the primary goal of this university. I'm proud of you, and wonderful folks, wonderful hires, and all I can see is this university continue to climb to the top. So thank you for all you do. I would like to introduce my sister Jeannie and her husband J.O. Dottie from Idalou. We spent the night with him last night instead of getting up at 4 o'clock to drive up here this morning. But thank you for honoring us. It's been a privilege to be here today. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say thank you to the Cradocks for all their long-term service. I too grew up out in West Texas and have seen the changes that they've made out over the many years. And I also would like to just acknowledge our prior chancellors, Chancellor Montford, Chancellor Hance, and Chancellor Duncan, for their idea to write a letter and to recommend the naming of this important building for us. And so I wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Wonderful.
That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you, President Rice Spearman, and thank all for the introductions and the recognitions. The board will continue in open session and meet as a committee of the whole and a meeting of the board. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting held on August 8th and 9th of this year?
So moved.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. We will now consider items as a committee of the whole, and I would ask the vice chairman to preside over the committee of the whole. Regent Carrick Davis.
Thank you, Chairman Griffin. The item is consideration of the consent agenda, items A through N, as listed on pages 1 through 35 of the agenda book, and the information agenda as listed on pages 36 through 46. Is there any discussion of the items in either the consent or information agendas?
Madam Vice Chair, may the record show that I have a conflict and will abstain from discussing, from voting on item K on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Regent Cash. As a reminder, if there is an item that you would like discussed in further detail or voted on separately from the consent agenda, you may request that that item be moved to the committee of the whole agenda. Okay, hearing no discussion, Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approve the consent agenda and acknowledge its review of the information agenda.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, this concludes the items to be considered by the committee of the whole at this time.
Thank you, Regent Carrick Davis. Kano, please present the schedule of upcoming board meetings, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are at the end of the 2024 meetings schedule, so we'll move on to 2025. The next regular scheduled meeting is set for March 6th through 7th, and we'll be here in Lubbock, as mentioned last time, with it being a legislative year. We're not going to do our regular road show, but we'll be here in Lubbock March 6th through 7th. Then we have the May 8th through 9th meeting, once again in Lubbock, and August 14th through 15th, and then November 13th through 14th. At the May meeting, we hope to set the dates for the 2026 board meeting.
Thank you. Any questions, comments there?
Yeah, 14.
Hearing none now, we'll hear from our student government presidents. Cam Weezy, would you like to present the SGA report for Angelo State University? Welcome.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. As you all know, my name is Cam Weezy. I serve as the Student Body President at Angelo State University, and I'm honored and thrilled to be able to present to you all today. So let's get started. For our first slide, I'd like to talk to you all about our internal activities from August through October of this fall semester. Currently, we have had 16 new senators sworn in, and we are still taking applications for students to represent their departments on our campus. Our Student Organization Advisor Committee was formed to oversee SOLF funding, which was a new committee implemented to oversee registered student organization funding allocations, as well as approval for new student organizations on our campus. Legislation is being drafted by our committees, and then our previously passed legislation has been presented to our faculty and staff senates. And so from that legislative update, we currently have 3 bills in committee. We have had 3 internal bills passed so far, and then we've had discussions with our faculty and staff senates on presenting legislation from our 95th session. We have new student organizations being approved consistently. We have had over 6 so far, and we have 8 moving forward that have applied to be new student organizations. And then for our fall activities, our student government association has promoted vaccine drives, participated in blood drives, as well as other events on campus. And then for our homecoming participation, our student government loved to partake in all of the festivities. But one thing that I always like to point out is that we host the RAM Remembrance Ceremony, which honors the lives of past ASU students, alumni, faculty, and staff that have passed away since last August. And then for our Christmas tree lighting, our Student Government Association participates in Giving Tuesday, which will be December 3rd this year. It is our largest fundraising opportunity for our RAM Family Student Scholarship. And then this year at the Rammies, which is our play on the Grammys at ASU, we will be handing out 3 $500 scholarships to students that apply for that. And then going off our external activities in the fall of 2024, our image on the left shows someone at the RAM Remembrance Ceremony. This picture in the middle shows a student at one of our mental health student services events this semester. And then as you can see on the far right, we have 2 of our student senators participating in our homecoming traditions. And then for our UREC fees and student awareness, our student government is leading the conversation on campus in collaboration with our Vice President of Student Affairs, as well as UREC, in the form of town halls, Q&As, and informational sessions. We have received assistance from the lovely Texas Tech University Student Government Association in passing our own legislation and advocating for raising the UREC fees. And we will then be bringing this item forward at Joint Congress later this year. As always, Angelo State is a values-based culture, but one thing that I would like to point out is that this year our Student Government Association has come together in our own community, providing resources for students, getting more active on campus, especially during the RAM Remembrance Ceremony. Are there any questions? Alrighty, awesome. Thank you all so much.
Cam, thank you.
Thank you, Cam.
Next, we'll hear from Vincent Peter. Please present the SGA report for Midwestern State University. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vincent Peter, as you know. When I stood here back in August, I said that SGA would be focused over at MSU in encouraging students and connecting students to a bigger, brighter community, and that's what we've strived to do over the last few months. As a lot of you know, we did receive what is record-breaking for us in enrollment this year, and it was key to make sure that those students felt connected when they got to our campus. So within the last few months, we had our moving day, and if you look at the bottom right, you'll see President Haney herself carrying boxes and bringing students into our dorms. We held our annual convocation. We held an organization fair where we tried to get students connected to the organizations that we have on campus. We had about 120 students show up to that. Might be the free tacos we offered. After that, we had Constitution Day, and the SGA partnered with the League of Women Voters to get voters signed up on campus to vote. So we had donuts and lemonade handing out to all students who came to our table to sign up to vote. And then we hosted a candidate forum that was open to the entire community, where we heard from the candidates within our district. And then we hosted an election watch party for our students so they could watch the polls. With our campus culture and student wellness, we formed a spirit team called Spirit Stangs. For Consent Day, we worked with our Title IX office and gave a donation where we used that to purchase t-shirts to promote Consent Day, and had students come up to tell us, what does consent mean to you? And then once you answered that question correctly, you got a t-shirt to wear. We participated in homecoming events and hosted some of the events itself. We had a self-defense training, and this was led by Steve Beggs, which works over at our United Regional Hospital as the security manager. And then one of our VPs started an honor society over at MSU, the NSLS, where we received over 100 students for that. Looking ahead, now we're done with all of the outdoor events. We're going to go ahead and shift focus back to our Senate to have legislation written to make the changes that we need. Next weekend, we'll be heading to a leadership retreat, and then just continue to support our organizations wherever they may need that help and assistance, and enrich our campus community to ensure that all students feel welcome and that they feel that they can strive in this environment. Any questions? No? Thank you so much for your time.
Vincent, thank you. We'll next hear from Abby Vega, present the SGA report for Texas Tech University. Welcome, Abby.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Chairman Griffin, members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak in front of each of you today. My name is Abigail Vega, and I currently serve as the SGA president at Texas Tech. I would like to recognize some of the individuals who are here joining me today. So we have Carter Arrett, our external vice president, Diego Alessio, our internal vice president, Kara Ashworth, our graduate vice president, Reagan Sanders, our chief of staff, and Ashlyn Rocky, our journal clerk. So these are, of course, the members of my team. We've been able to do a lot of internal as well as external things and are excited to continue to put forth our efforts to making a difference at Texas Tech and across our system. But I'll first start off with some of the initiatives that we've been able to complete. So first, we had our Matador Mental Health Day, which was held during our homecoming week. So with this, the Student Government Association partnered with the RISE office to conduct an event to focus and inform students of the mental health resources that TTU provides. So approximately 500 students participated in this event and came and joined us in Red Raider Plaza to learn about these different resources, as well as partook in a scavenger hunt across campus to discover all the different resources that we provide. We also completed our Alcohol Awareness Week, so SGA took part in the Student Activities Board Alcohol Awareness Week, where we provided a tabling event for students to pledge to sip smart and stay safe. Approximately 300 students took part in this and were able to sign this pledge, which we will be posting in our SGA office for students to reference, to commit to a responsible lifestyle. We also did some civic engagement, so we were able to deputize the good majority of all of our SGA members, which includes our Senate chamber executives as well as some of our ambassadors. So we held weekly tabling events outside of the Student Union building to provide students, staff, and faculty with the opportunity to register to vote. We were able to register approximately 1,500 students, staff, and faculty to vote prior to the voter registration deadline. We also participated in the Big 12 Student Government Association Conference in Ames, Iowa. So we traveled to this conference and were able to discuss a range of initiatives encompassing the entire Big 12 student body and highlighted the efforts being taken at each institution. Oh gosh. We also, of course, were able to share this at the last Board of Regents meeting, but first photo, we were able to complete this initiative, this second annual First Photo event that took place on August 21st at 6 p.m. This event included welcoming remarks from 4 individuals, a pep rally, a class photo in a double T formation, and concluded with food, snow cones, and a performance by Chandler Pearson. There was approximately 4,000 students that attended this welcome event, so we were very excited to be able to welcome them into the Red Raider family and onto Texas Tech's campus. But with that, I have a short video to kind of share the different things that we were able to do at this specific event. With that, we were able to hand each of you one of the little postcards with that picture on it to be able to reference for future years and years to come. I know that they were able to give you a token from that initiative this past year as well. But some of our ongoing initiatives, we have a utility box initiative that we will be partnering with the city with. So we will be painting the utility boxes surrounding campus in order to beautify campus and really show our Red Raider pride. Our development weeks, of course, similarly to Alcohol Awareness Week, we also have SGA Week, Safety Week, and beyond that to be able to inform our students of the different resources as well as the different things that we have going on in SGA. Fall break, we are still continuing to work with Faculty Senate in order to hopefully be able to push for this initiative, if not next year, definitely the year after, and exploring the ways that we could work with them in order to benefit not only students, but also faculty and staff. And then we have our open educational resources. So our cabinet has been able to meet with this office in order to be able to encourage for professors to be able to take part and utilize these open educational resources for students so that they aren't having to spend as much money on books or different platforms in order to be able to complete their coursework. With that, is there any questions?
Abigail, how many students, I know it was probably in here, how many students were in the?
Approximately 4,000. We didn't get a direct count. We had some different numbers, but we had our senators counting as they were walking in.
Pretty impressive that.
Oh, yes.
To get 4,000 of them organized and pointing in one direction, so.
Most definitely. We were able to do that very effectively, and we're able to get them all in there. I would say it took about 15 to 20 minutes, which was very good with as many students who were there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. Next, we'll hear from Jesse Burnett. Please present the report for Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center in Lubbock. Good morning, Jesse.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me once again. Go back here. My name is Jesse Burnett. I'm here speaking for TTUHSC this morning. First, I want to say, I know you all probably spoke about it yesterday. We had our unexpected IT outage last month. On behalf of the students, I just want to say thank you to our faculty and staff, those in leadership, and of course our IT team, who did a wonderful job at keeping that as smooth as possible. I know that my studies personally were barely affected online for about a week, and just want to say thank you so much for all of the patience and hard work that they've done in front and behind the scenes. Secondly, I do want to say thank you to our students who have expressed incredible adaptability during this time and their hard work to continue their studies as well. So once again, thank you. Next to the more fun things, we are starting our Senators and Subs event. These are held yearly on each campus to give students a chance to meet senators and kind of discuss any suggestions or even complaints that they have so we can make it a better place for them. I was able to attend yesterday in Dallas. It was very, very successful. Pretty much all of our first year and second year students were able to attend. And we even have our distance yesterday online. They were able to meet their students as well. Next, I want to highlight our Find Your Soulmate shoe drive. We started this last year with our community service committee. It's held in February around Valentine's Day. But I do want to highlight last year we collected over 200 pairs of shoes from student, faculty, and staff, even got donations from distance education students. These donations were provided to Souls for Souls, and it equated to over $1,800 worth of economic value. Plans this year, looking ahead, we are wanting to increase our footprint to surrounding communities to each of our campuses. So looking at putting donation boxes to locations that our senators choose. We also are hoping to extend this to the whole TTU system with our other SGAs, just of course to increase donations and help our communities. And of course, we did have a lapse in communication this past month, so trying to get legislation out was a little bit slowed. But we did recently pass our congratulatory legislation highlighting Dr. T. Toledo on his appointment as Dean for our School of Medicine. Looking, of course, one of our big, we have a lot of emphasis on our distance education students, especially with what happened this past month. With communication, looking always to increase resources for those students, looking at occupational therapy program, looking at white coat ceremonies, pinning ceremonies for nursing students, and helping spread scholarship opportunities to students. Lastly, we are focusing on increasing our social media presence. As we know, we are geographically separated across all of Texas, so this is one way that we can increase I don't know, kind of feeling like a family. Sometimes we feel like that's a little bit lost just with that distance. So we are highlighting our members, all of our senators. We have Member Monday, be a little bit more personal with our students, let them get to know their senators. We are currently having a gift shop giveaway for our Vitals store and have had a lot of engagement with that. And then also sharing ways. We have different suggestion boxes on all of the campuses so students can voice their concerns to student government. Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Jesse. Chase Green, who is president of the Health Sciences Center in El Paso, was unable to attend, so this will conclude our reports for this morning. But before we move on, Jad, any comments you would like to make, please, sir?
Thank you, Chairman. Just wanted to add that we're doing a joint session with all the SGAs January 24th and 25th. So by the March meeting, we'll come back and have some joint resolutions to talk about that we passed.
Can you do that from Boston?
I'll be here.
Okay, good. Good. You're going to get frequent flyer miles, I think, out of this deal.
Most definitely,
Thanks.
absolutely.
Thanks for your good work and for your engagement here and for all of you. Thanks for making the travel time and giving these great reports. You are integral in what we're doing, and you are our connection point with the students that we serve. So I can't thank you enough for your good work. Thanks. This completes our reports. The final item of business is announcements. Are there any announcements at this time? There being no further business to come before the board, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second. All those in favor? Aye. The meeting of this board is adjourned. Thank you.